Hello everyone, my name is Eric Jones. We're going to take a look at a lecture entitled Marketing Irrigation Services. And whether or not you're in the irrigation business or you're a landscape contractor or you're doing both or you're a landscape designer, I think this lecture will do you some justice on how to market yourself, especially with the social media and incorporating social media with your other print advertising of your letterheads, of your business card, even to the shirts that your employees wear on the job site, even with the logos on your truck, even with the social media being linked to your websites. It all goes hand in hand. And the good thing about social media, guys, is that it's free. Yes, you can spend money through Google advertising to promote stuff and to get people to sell ads on Facebook and whatnot, but the idea is that you can use it and it costs you little to nothing to get your name out there. All you've got to do is spend time. And I know time is money, but the best thing about it is this little handy guy here, my iPhone. Dude, you can do so much marketing from your cell phone now. I remember the days of when I first went to work for my parents full-time after graduating undergraduate. I went to work for them full-time, and one thing that my dad bought, because my undergraduate's in landscape architecture, so I was still doing designs on the side for myself, and I was doing a lot for him. But he bought me a digital camera to use in the company that had the floppy disk drives in it. I could take like 10 pictures of a property and boom, that disk was full. So I had to keep a stack of discs in my vehicle to do the landscape design. With this thing right here, I can take 500 pictures of the property if I want. Then I can download every social media app to help me boost our business from that. I use Facebook, I use Twitter, I use Instagram, I use Snapchat, I use YouTube. I mean, YouTube's are the videos, is the video service that I use to present you guys these lectures. I use YouTube at the college I teach. I put the lectures that I use in the classroom on there for my students to use. The good thing about it, they can watch my lectures on their phone. I can send them a link to the YouTube. I can put it on Blackboard. They can download it to their phones, and they have the link that they can use the YouTube app to see their weekly lectures for my own lawn classes. So guys, the social media is there. I hope you're taking advantage of it. I hope to have some more classes next year for the CEUs that's going to focus more on the social media apps that can be used within irrigation and within any green industry business. So again, please, I hope that you are using the social media apps within your business. Again, like I said, I'm using Facebook. Facebook's probably the most important, especially for the age group that we're trying to market to. My parents are so big into Facebook, that's all they're doing. My dad says mom sits around on the couch continuously with her iPad or her phone, and she's on Facebook. And I can get on her feed, and I can tell you exactly what my mom's doing because of her Facebook feed. Now, I'm not that bad, but I am when it comes to the business side. My wife and I also started a business designing and selling military artwork and T-shirts. I'm prior Navy active duty, prior Army Reserve, and been mobbed several times with the Army as a combat medic. So I've got that experience that I'm turning into military T-shirts about being a gunner's mate, about being a combat medic, about being an infantryman. So we're making T-shirts, and we're using social media to sell those shirts. I'm also using it for my dad's company, Elite Landscape Service. We're still promoting that, and I use it to promote my CEUs that I use. I have Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, and YouTube. Those are my primary ones to use. I need to look at doing a blog. If you were to do a blog for your irrigation business that can just put out information, so you use the social media to present free information. You're not really marketing yourself, but in a sense you are. You're putting your name out there. You're not selling or you're not advertising. You're marketing using the social media. So when you put up free information on your blog, Or you put up some free information on Facebook. Let's say it's time, hey customers, it's time to, or hey friends, hey family, it's time to plant pansies. It's the time of year to plant pansies. Talk about it. Talk about the soil mixture that you would use for the pansies. Don't talk about, hey, I can install your pansies. Give the clients the information. More than likely the female, the wife of the home, is going to see that and she's going to I want some of those pansies in my yard. She's going to talk to her husband about it. She's going to try to get him to do it. He's not going to have the time, or definitely doesn't want to do it. He wants to do something else on his weekends. So he's going to be like, whoops, sorry that jumped there too quick. He's going to say, honey, where'd you send that information? Well, I saw it on Smith Landscaping's page. Well, honey, just call them. Let's just do it. I know you want the pansies in the yard. Go ahead and do it. I'll write him a check. Put the free information out there, and people are going to call you on doing the work. You're doing a new landscape job. Take pictures with Snapchat. Take it with Snapchat, download it to your phone, send out a snap to everybody. Put your snap name out there. I use Turf Teacher on everything for the landscape side. Whether I'm helping out Dad with his stuff, and I haven't been on it in a while, but I'm very active on it in the spring. I'm very active on it during the summer. In the fall, I kind of slow down with the fall semester starting and whatnot. But I use Turf Teacher for Facebook. My Facebook page is Turf Teacher. My Instagram page is Turf Teacher. My Snapchat is Turf Teacher. My Twitter is Turf Teacher. My YouTube is Turf Teacher. And I do have another YouTube that's got some older lectures on it. But I'm putting everything with Turf Teacher, Turf Teacher, Turf Teacher, because people will recognize that name. So if I did create a blog, hopefully it would be Turf Teacher if somebody else hadn't already took the name. So what you want to try to do is find a name that's unique to you and that everybody can remember, a little catchy phrase that's available on all the website or on all the social media sites. And I also have the turfteacher.com. I've purchased it, but I don't actually run my lectures underneath Turf Teacher. I run it underneath my name. Hopefully over time and things like that I can get it to change. But I've at least purchased it, and I've got everything on reserve that when I really want to blow up Turf Teacher, I can blow it up, and it's a name that will stick and that I have with every social media site that I need. So hopefully you guys can find something that's catchy, that can be used along with your company name that matches it. So marketing the irrigation services. Again, business is up during the good times. You don't really have to worry about marketing. People are wanting to spend money. The phone's ringing. The good times. People have a little extra money. They want that grass looking good, so they're calling you as the irrigation contractor to install. But when the economy downturns, as we've seen back in 2009, 2008, everything just kind of tanked there for a while. Your business starts declining. This is when you're going to have to market. But you still need to be marketing while the business times, while there's good times, because you don't want it to come to a screeching halt, and you haven't been in the marketing business for a while, and people are kind of, you're more dependent on word of mouth and stuff like that. You need to have that name out there as much as you can, even during the good times. You need to spend money because business fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down. You need to keep stuff out there. And the greatest reluctance to investing in the landscape or turf grass or irrigation, again, is price. You got to market yourself, inform the client of why they need to hire you. You give them that free information, explaining to them what you're supposed to do. They're going to understand that they've got to pay a little bit more for the knowledge that you guys have. So what you need to do is develop that marketing strategy. Marketing is neither selling nor advertising. Again, what did I just say with the social media? You're not selling stuff. Hey, pick up the phone and call me, Eric Jones, to plant your pansies. Hey, I'm Eric Jones. I'm telling you about the pansies and what you need to do with the soil, that you need to mix in this type of fertilizer. Make sure you till the beds real good. Don't put mulch around it. Use maybe like a soil conditioner as your mulch. You'll need to water the plants in. It's best to buy a 4-inch pot if you can versus the little packets. You're educating the client. You're telling them what they need to do. Get them thinking about planting those pansies. I'm not saying, hey, I've got the cheapest price on pansies and I can install them for the cheapest. I'm not doing that. I'm not selling myself, or I'm not advertising that I have pansies to sell. I'm using my social media to market myself by educating the people. I'm not selling or advertising them anything. Selling and advertising may be an important part of a marketing strategy, but it doesn't need to be the primary focus. Market yourself as an educator. Explain to clients what they need to do. Give them that little bit of free information, and they're going to purchase the big ticket items from you. So to develop the marketing strategy, we must first answer a few questions. These questions are: identify the services or products that you're going to sell. Are you fully and strictly only an irrigation contractor? That's fine. That's great. That's good to take something and run with it. I've always said monotonous work makes money. The triple M's. Monotonous work makes you money. But sometimes we get a little bored with that, and you want to do something a little different. And the best thing about the horticulture industry or the green industry is that we can do several different things. We could have separate crews that specialize. You could have a couple crews or one crew that does nothing but irrigation. You could have one crew that does nothing but do landscape management services like mowing, blowing of leaves, cleaning up, pruning, things of that nature. You may have a turf care guy. You wouldn't necessarily have a crew that does lawn care. You're going to have individuals that take care of lawns. So you could have a turf grass division or lawn care division. You could have that crew that specializes in taking on annual beds and doing that for customers, and actually doing that for other landscape. So identify the services and products that you want to sell. Identify and understand the potential customer. Again, that depends on the type of client that you're going after and the type of work that you have. If you're doing landscape renovation, or you're ripping out old plants and going back with new foundation plantings, you're not going to market to the brand new neighborhood that's got a landscape that's only a year old. You're going to be looking at clients that's been in their homes for 20 years. They're probably middle-aged. It's time for a refreshing change. So you're looking for that type of work. If you're looking for the mow, blow, go customer, you want to be in those neighborhoods that have small square footage lots. I've seen lots as small as 5,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet that you can mow for $20. But you wouldn't market the same way to those clients as you would a client that has an acre lot. Identify your competitors. Who are the guys doing the exact same work that you're doing? If you're doing irrigation, who are the other irrigation contractors in the area? Identify your advantages and your disadvantages. Hey, the best thing I can tell you guys is that we're licensed irrigation contractors. I think that was the best thing for us as a whole, that we're licensed. We are here to protect the health, welfare, and safety of our clients. The same thing with the landscape law. We're licensed landscape contractors. We are considered up there with plumbers, electricians, and heat and air contractors now. We've got the knowledge. We've been trained. We've either gone to a technical school, we've gone to a community college, we've gone to a 4-year university. That is an advantage. So what are some disadvantages to you? Again, there's people jumping into the business every day. All they got to do is buy a truck. All they got to do is buy a trailer, and they're in business, especially when it comes to landscaping. But with the new licensing law, that's going to be an advantage for us. So just make sure you know your advantages and disadvantages. We call it a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, and a couple other things. That's a whole nother lecture getting involved with SWOT analysis. So determine the most efficient method to reach buyers. You got to have that marketing strategy. I love this sign right here. Marketing avenue meets strategy street. Develop an action plan. Make sure that you're doing quality work, and then you need to do the advertising and the promotion. So, what is the most efficient ways to reach your buyers? Guys, I can't stress it to you enough. Social media is the way to go. If you're wanting to work for the older homes doing the new landscape renovations, ripping out old, those are your Facebookers. So design something that's going to market that. Twitter's in with the new crowd, the young crowd. Instagram's new with the young clients. So you may have those younger clients that just bought that house that needs their yard mowed quick, cheap, $20 yards. Look at the social media sites and who their age groups are, and where you can find this information out. The younger people like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. The older generations are your Facebookers. Develop your plan. Put it in motion. This is something that, guys, we've all got younger kids. My kids could blow me away on social media. They've got more followers than I do, and I'm actually pushing it out there. Their friends network, it multiplies one after the other. I wish, I could get my oldest daughter, who's a teenager, became 13, to get her working for me and start advertising it. But she don't even want to put a picture of me or her mom on her social media sites. So eventually, maybe that'll pay off for me one day. So, no cost advertising. Well, it does cost, and here we see Tony Bass. I love Tony. I actually met him when we were part of the Christmas Decor franchise. He's a great friend of mine, and I've learned a lot from this man about advertising and how he advertised when he owned Bass Custom Landscapes. He's since sold it, but he still does the super lawn trucks, as you can see one here. Great man. I learned a lot from him. I love his book. I've actually got it here, the E-Myth Contractor. It's one of the textbooks that I use in my classrooms. But Tony is a great guy. I cannot say enough good things about him. But your company image and your professionalism. This is a one-time deal when you logo your truck. Yes, it's going to cost some money up front, but it's there. It's done. You don't have to pay for that again unless your business is growing and you've got to buy another truck. That doesn't cost you a dime, that truck going up and down the road, spreading your name all over the place. Put it on there. Put it on everything that you got. Your trucks, your equipment. Have your logo on your mower if there's a spot. And on your tractor if there's a spot. Put it on everything that you got. Graphics don't cost much. It doesn't cost much at all. Put it on your correspondence, your letterheads, your envelopes, your business card. Put it all on there. And also what you need to do on your trucks, now look at this with his super lawn truck. Put the Facebook emblem there with your Facebook name. The Twitter, the little bird with your Twitter handle. Your Snapchat name beside the little ghost that comes with the Snapchat. You put all of that there. People are going to see that you're out there, and you won't believe the times that people have seen our website or our Facebook page on the truck, and they're sitting behind us at the stoplight, and they start following us. And they'll tell you that, hey, we saw your truck at the stoplight on Renolda Road, saw that you had a Facebook page, we got on it, we've seen the pictures of the projects that you've done, we'd like an estimate. Didn't cost us a dime except the few dollars it cost us to put our Facebook name on the truck. Personnel, again, your guys need to wear nice uniforms. Now here we see some guys here that have a nice green and tan shirts. Now yes, if you're out, I'm the first to say it, I love doing irrigation work, but it is some nasty work. You're going to get dirty. You're going to get mud on you. You're dealing with water and soil, red clay from where we're at. So we're going to be nasty. Sometimes we're so nasty it's embarrassing to even go to lunch because we're just covered in mud head to toe. But what I like to do, I keep a bar of soap in the truck, guys. I keep some Gojo in the truck that I can clean up really good. And I keep one of these collared shirts behind the seat that if a client calls me or if I've got to go do something important, I've got to change of clothes, I can pull that shirt off. Yeah, I got mud on my pants, big deal. But I've got a nice shirt that I can go meet a client. Always keep that. Make sure your guys are in uniforms. Make sure that they're wearing the same colored uniforms. It ticked me off when Dad first implemented uniforms. He got us nice t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, we had some button ups, and we all wore green pants. Well, he gets the uniforms out, and the next day the guys come in, they've cut the sleeves off, and they've got it ripped down here. We got rid of those guys immediately. You don't want them working for you. Their appearance and their demeanor means so much to you as a company because they're reflecting on you. If they tear up their shirts and destroy their t-shirts, what are they going to do with the client's property? Also, if your personnel are dressed nicely and they see that, You may have that star employee that doesn't know about you, and they see one of your crews out at lunch, and they're like, man, look at that. Those guys, man, they've got khaki pants on, they've got green polos on. You know, that's what I want to do. I love horticulture. I want to work for somebody like that takes pride in themselves. Certification. Make sure your guys are getting certified. Now, I know not everybody needs to be a licensed irrigation contractor because you're the licensed irrigation contractor. But if you're spreading fertilizer and you're doing pest management, you're doing turf care, let your guys get licensed. Pay for them. Pay for them to get that. Pay for them to get certified as a certified landscape professional through one of the organizations. You know, that builds camaraderie. It builds team on the spirit. It's just a pep rally for your personnel, that if you're taking the time to invest in them, let them do that. And then within your organization, let people know that they've done a good job. Give a little, hey, what's the employee of the month thing. Give people something to strive for. If they win employee of the month, that's when they get the nice polo or they get the nice coat to wear out. But keep your personnel looking good. Things that add up to being professional. For one is communication. We can communicate through social media. Also, we need to communicate with our employees. You need to let them know what's going on with the company. Explain to them why we do things that we do. Why do we wear the nice uniforms? Why do we keep our shirt tails tucked in? Why do we not smoke on the job site? Why do we pick up our trash? Explain to them why you're doing it. Then point out the good things that they do. Point out the bad things that they do. You don't have to criticize them so hard, but say, hey, guys, next time let's clean the trucks out when we come in the afternoon. That's why the dumpster's there by the shop. You pull in, you throw the trash out, because tomorrow I don't want you to pull up to the job site. You open the truck door and a soda can falls out. That's why we do it. You take pride and you show them that you're taking pride in them. They're going to take pride in your company, in your company name, and the hard work that you've put into all your marketing efforts will start paying off. You take pride in your employees. They see that you're taking pride in the company. You got to lead by example, ladies and gentlemen. And then refrain from criticizing the competitors, both to your employees and definitely to your potential clients. I've got one guy, I actually graduated high school with him. He's in the landscape and irrigation business. He does more talking trash about the clients, and I've had clients come up to me and say, that's all he does is talk about how bad the other people are. He doesn't tell me anything good that he can do. He's always pointing out the bad stuff of the guy that did the job beforehand. I want to hear what he can do for me. Why should I hire him? What knowledge does he have? Criticizing somebody's not knowledge. That just makes you look bad in their eyes. I've never, the client, the reason they're talking to me is because they're not happy with the previous guy to begin with. And I'm walking around on the job site doing an analysis of the property with the property manager. They're the ones that's going to be pointing out what wasn't done. I can agree, or I'm never back talking my competitors. Never will I do that. I don't have to. I don't have to. I've already sold myself. Advertising. Sometimes we got to do the cold calls. Make sure you're not doing the illegal thing and calling people that you can't. But what I mean by cold calls too is call your existing clients. If work's down a little bit, what's wrong with picking up the phone and say, hey, Mr. and Miss Smith, hey, we just bought a Christmas decor franchise. We're offering holiday lighting services. We can do it for any of the holidays, but we're big on the Christmas. We've got wreaths in. We've got artificial trees. We've got big xenon bulbs. You're advertising to your existing clients through cold calls. And then referrals. You're going to have referrals from your existing clients. So if you let your existing clients know that you've taken on a new business, you've expanded your business, let them know. They might say, hey, yeah, Joe Smith's Landscaping just added turf gear to their line of services. You might want to give them a call because Joe, he's a pretty good guy. Traditional advertising. You have the television, you have the radio, you have the newspapers. Well, mixed emotions about this. We've had some good luck with newspapers, but I tell you the one thing that's done best for us with the newspapers is we write a press release. Doesn't cost me a thing except time in front of my computer bragging on myself. Not bragging. There's a difference between being cocky and confident. But explaining to them, hey, Elite Landscape Service has just bought a Christmas decor franchise. We met with the owners down in Lubbock, Texas. We went through their week training school. We are now offering holiday and event lighting services. Typed up a letter, had the newspaper, the Winston-Salem Journal, call me the next day and say, hey, we'd like to come out and do a story with you. They had one of our guys in the tree, had the red uniform on, the red jacket, and the green pants, the red apron, the red toboggan. We looked very Christmassy, and we were up in the tree putting lights. We got more business off of that newspaper ad that wasn't an ad, it was a story based on a press release that I wrote. Television. I think television is good, especially for the landscape design and construction guys. You know, our business is very visual. People want to see what we've done. So radio sometimes might not be the key to ours. I would rather see it done on television versus radio because we are a very visual profession. Business publications. Again, it depends on what type of work you're going after. If you're going after doing commercial work, that would be a great opportunity, like Triad Business Journal that's here local in town. You know, advertising in that because, you know, it's going to get out to the property managers. It's going to get out to the real estate people. All of that's going to be looking at that. Yellow Pages. Not a big fan of it, but I do recommend that you have your name in the Yellow Pages. We always kept our name. We'd say Elite Landscape Service. We'd have our website underneath it, ELSN.com. We've changed that now to match our name, but EliteLandscapeService.com. And then our phone number. People would always see the website. They may not want to call us, but they'd see that we had a website, and they would go to that and find out more information about us, and then, you know, contact us. I didn't spend a lot of money in the Yellow Pages because I know guys that spend $500 and some $1,000 a month to be the largest section in there. I mean, guys, there's a million of us in the Yellow Pages. I use the Yellow Pages for people to find my number, if that, you know, because a lot of times they're like, hey, we need to call Elite. They're not going to turn the computer on and log in and try to find your phone number. They've got the free phone book in their kitchen drawer that they can pull up and flip through it. Oh yeah, there's Elite's number. Yeah, blah 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 blah, and they call us. We did it for that. And if you had your name in the Yellow Pages, it give you a free listing in the White Pages. And again, internet. We definitely had a big web presence. We used to have the website ELSN.com. We kind of abbreviated it. We've since changed it to EliteLandscapeService.com. And we had our Christmas decor. We had that for 10 years. And once our non-compete was up, we started Carolina Holiday Lighting. And we had that website, CarolinaHolidayLighting.com. So you got to be big with the internet. Have your website, have your links to your social media on your websites, just as you have your websites on your social media sites. It's back and forth. They can go back and forth. It gives the potential client their choice of finding out information about you. And then direct mail. Direct mail is good, especially when you're targeting neighborhoods. You can use some of these services. We were introduced to one through the Christmas Decor franchise on direct mail. They can pinpoint street address, zip codes. They can pick out the neighborhood, and you can say, I want to hit every house in such and such neighborhood, but I want to skip the one next door to it and jump down 2 more neighborhoods and pick that. You could pinpoint it that close. And so what you do is you hit it hard. People have got to see your name 3 times before they remember who you are. They'll see your truck driving down the street. Ah, there goes Elite Landscape Service. Okay, no big deal. He's got a Facebook page. That's cool. Might write that down or find him on my app sitting here at the stoplight. They go to lunch the next day. They see one of your professional personnel walk into the restaurant. Hey, that's Elite Landscape Service again. That's a nice uniform. Then they go to the kids' ball game and they see that you've got a billboard at the Little League field. Elite Landscape Service. 3 times. Hey, now I know who that is. That's Elite Landscape Service. People see your name 3 times, so you hit them with direct mail. You hit them with a website. You hit them with uniform. Seeing you 3 times, they're going to know who you are. That's how you use your traditional advertising. Newsletters. I did one every month. I got tired of mom coming to me. It's time for you to do a newsletter this month. We did it. I did it because it was, again, free information. It was before the days of social media. And she would mail it out with all the monthly invoices. Called it Elite Echoes. And I would talk about what needed to be done for the month. Hey, it's time to start cutting the grass. It's time to fertilize this. It's time to plant this vegetable in your garden if you'd like to have, a garden. It was just free information for people. Again, we never sold anything. But sometimes I would add 10% off of this type of service. But it was specifically designed for free information. Do you have full-time or part-time salespeople? I love selling. Selling a job. You put me in front of a client, I'm gonna win. Either the client's selling you, or you're selling them. There's a sale always being made when you're a salesperson. The client's either selling you that they don't want you, that you're not going to do their job, or you're selling them the job. But I'm not going to let that happen. I've been doing it long enough, and I love it, and I love getting in front of a client. And my dad's always said, son, you could sell a bucket of water in a flood if you had to. It's just something that I've liked doing. I got good at it when we had the Christmas Decor franchise because they taught us how to sell the Christmas lights. And you think selling mowing or pruning, a job like that's hard. Think about lights. That's a want. They don't have to have it. They've got to get their yard pruned, the shrubs pruned and things of that nature. So a necessity is easier to sell than a want sometimes. So I learned it through them, and I was glad that mom and dad had the Christmas Decor franchise because I learned a lot from those guys on selling. Have a company resume or profile. That's okay. Have a resume for your company. And then have a profile on your social media sites about what you do. That could be on your website. You could have the resume, download company resume, and it's going to say, hey, worked for this company, worked for this company, worked for this municipality, worked for this large company, did O'Reilly Auto Parts throughout the southeastern United States for several years, worked for Krispy Kreme, worked for UNCG, worked for School of the Arts. All the jobs that you've done, have that profile or resume that your clients can download. Non-traditional advertising. Well, you can be a part of newcomers assistance group. People are moving in to the area that you are. We did that at one time. They actually contacted us to see if we wanted to advertise with them. So when somebody new moved into the area, they sent them a Welcome to Winston-Salem kit that had stuff about us, had stuff about schools, had all kinds of stuff that got them to help get settled in. And then do lawn and garden shows. We've done a few of these. They've been fine. Here you can see the home and garden show. We've done that a time or two. Got some jobs out of it, but I'm not one to stand at a trade show for 3 or 4 days. If that's you, that's great because you can get business from that. Community and public relations, local associations, awards, news releases, the Better Business Bureau. All these are good members to be a part of. Every year, we still do this. We've not missed a year, but we decorate the Ronald McDonald House. Even though we're not part of Christmas Decor, that was something they'd started. We are now Carolina Holiday Lighting. We still voluntarily decorate the Ronald McDonald House because it's something that's very true and dear to my father, and that's something that he wants to do, and he'll do that as long as he can. But we send out a press release. Hey, Carolina Holiday Lighting by Elite Landscape Service just decorated the Ronald McDonald House. Send it to the newspaper, the news channels. It costs a little bit of time. The thing to do with this, guys, is to have a list of your local news stations, your local radio stations, your newspapers. Have it in an Excel sheet with their contact information, their email address, their phone number, their fax number. So when you type up a press release, you've got the information, and through Microsoft Outlook, you could send out that email, you can send out that fax, and let people know that you're doing good, that you're volunteering in the community. That's what's going to get your name out there. People want to hear good stories, and if you do something like that, it's going to help. I've thought of something of, being a soldier that's been gone a time or two, starting a, mow the yard kind of service for our deployed service members, especially when it comes to National Guards and reservists who are typically doing that themselves. And when they get deployed or they go somewhere training for a couple months, the wife is home with the kids. She doesn't know how to mow the turf, mow the lawn and take care of the property. If we had a network of people that would volunteer, go and help these soldiers out on their deployment, just think of the publicity you would get saying, hey, Elite Landscape Service mowed 2 soldiers' homes this week free of charge. That's their thank you for these guys serving their country. And it doesn't have to just be the one company. You get together with a couple of your colleagues. Guys, you can learn more from each other than you can working together than you can working against each other. Maybe it's 2 or 3 of you that got together and did something nice like that for the soldiers, or it doesn't have to be for soldiers, it could be for anything. But if you do something good, let the community know about it. It's free advertising, and you're more than likely going to get a good story at it. Expanding the market niche with add-on services. Again, landscape renovation. You're ripping out an old foundation and you're going in with new landscape. You've just purchased landscape, Pro Landscape, nice design software. You're going to start doing digital imaging for clients that want landscape renovation. Let people know. Seasonal color. You may have a crew that's just specialized in doing annuals and perennials. There's companies that have a crew that specifically just take care of annual beds. I know people, and one of my former students, that's all she does. She's now in her master's program online, but she takes care of annual beds for other landscape companies. She has a greenhouse that she grows flowers for weddings, and she grows annuals that she subcontracts with other landscape companies to take care of their annual beds. Her business is booming. She's got a couple people helping her. She's making a good living doing that. Turf aeration. It's an add-on service that you could offer. Athletic field maintenance or water features. You could start, doing the koi ponds or anything like that. You find that niche, and I think edible landscapes is one that's going to come on. People want to start having, fresh fruits and vegetables. We're in the green industry, so we know how to grow things. If we can show people or do a vegetable garden for people, doing community gardens for people, we're having that add-on service that not only puts our name out there, but we can also make money off of it. Again, snow removal, an add-on service. Let your existing clients know. That's the one thing that I've had way too much of in my life, even though we were in North Carolina. But there were several years that's all we did. Bang, bang, bang. We had several good years of snow. How I did that, I took the yellow pages, I wrote down every property management in there, typed them up in Excel, printed out labels. I printed a flyer and says, we now offer snow removal services. We got so much work in Greensboro, North Carolina, that we almost didn't have time to take care of the stuff that we had in Winston. And I remember one year that it snowed a foot in Greensboro. It only snowed about 3 or 4 inches here in Winston. But from west or east of Winston through Greensboro and Raleigh, they got a foot or more. That's when I sent out that letter. That's when I started calling people. Hey, this is Eric with Elite Landscape Service. We offer snow removal. Do you have anything that we might want to do? Yes. Can you come now? It became a working relationship that we had for several years after that. Holiday decorations. We bought the Christmas Decor franchise. Our landscape business grew because of that. People that didn't know who we were landscaping definitely knew who we were by the marketing that we did with our Christmas Decor. They became our landscape customers. And then, of course, there's always going to be other opportunities. You've got to find that niche. When you find that niche, let people know. Market it. Give them the free information about it through your social media, through your other avenues of marketing, and you're going to get the work. Franchising. Again, Christmas Decor. I can't say enough good things about these guys. I learned a lot from them. Enjoyed the 10 years that we were with them. You have U.S. Lawns if you're wanting to get into like commercial mowing, or Weed Man if you're wanting to get into the turf grass. You can learn a lot from franchising. And these guys already have marketing strategies in place. The plan is designed. If you know nothing about how to market that specific niche that they filled, they're going to tell you how to do it. You don't even have to know how to spray fertilize or spray chemicals on lawns. They're going to teach you. You may not even know how to use a lawnmower. I know more people that's bought franchises that had business degrees than horticulture degrees. They were the businessmen. Knew one guy in Atlanta, very particular. His name was Larry. I'm not going to tell his last name. But Larry was a good guy. Bought a franchise of Christmas decor and one of U.S. Lawns. He'd never cut a blade of grass in his life. He'd never wrapped a dogwood tree with mini lights either. He had the crews do it. He bought in-place systems, and he turned around and he ran each one of them for about 5 or 6 years, and he sold them for way more money than he paid for them. Now he's doing something else. He was a businessman. He used a proven strategy system that had marketing in place, had the systems in place, and made money off of it. Didn't hurt that he was in Atlanta, Georgia either, but he took a system and ran with it. Ooh. So why do customers go to other lawn or landscape companies or other irrigation companies? You got to handle these customers, and you got to keep the clients. And look at this right here. This is reference to David Sauter, one of our textbook authors again. But the number one reason percent of clients leaving: indifference attitude to the customer by the employees. If I was to lose a customer because of one of my employees, I think I would lose my mind. You do not backtalk a customer. You do not argue. You say yes, sir. You say yes, ma'am. You get the thing done. If it starts getting ugly with the customer, that's why you pick up the cell phone that I'm supplying you with and you say, hey, Eric, can you come and talk to this customer? They seem very upset and very mad. Yes, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Tell the customer that the boss man's on his way, and guaranteed I could keep that customer. I can cool them down and make them feel good enough about what had just happened and keep the client. I can't stand it when it happens that I lose a customer because of one of my employees. It's not going to happen. And you look at that's 68% of the clients report that. Dissatisfied with the service is only 14. More competitive price is only 9. So they're not worried about price. They want to know you, and they want to have a good relationship with you, even though you might be a little bit higher priced. Other relationships. Well, my nephew got in the business and started a loan company, so I had to hire him. Yeah, that's going to happen, guys. That's nothing that you can do about it. It's nothing that you did. 3 of them is relocating. They've moved out of state. They moved to another city, so you're not offering services there. And then 1 by death. So talk to your employees. Don't let them lose your customers. You spend all that money marketing yourself, not money because we can do it cheap, but the time. Don't lose that time. Time is money. Service keeps customers. Residential and commercial clientele demand good service. Service is the only commodity that the landscape management firms can offer. They look for measurable standards. 0 errors in orders and paperwork. Don't make a mistake on an invoice. Make sure it's right. On-time performance. Be on time 100% of the time for appointments or scheduled visits. Now, yeah, they're going to understand if it's raining today, you might not show up to work that day because it's raining. But if you're saying, hey, sir, ma'am, I've got your landscape design done. I will meet you at 6 o'clock tonight. Hopefully we can sit down at the kitchen table and we can go over these plans and sell you the job. Be there at 6 o'clock if you told them you would. Quick resolution of problems. Clients expect the company to correct the problems. Satisfactions depend upon the time to fix the problem. Eat the cost. Go and fix it. Don't lose the customer. It's more expensive to get another customer than it is to keep that one. Fix it and make them happy. Concern. Clients deserve genuine concern and care. They're paying for it. A few positive strokes go a long way. Be nice. Be courteous. Bite your tongue if they've made you mad. I'd rather take their money. Let them. They can say a couple things or whatever, but hey, who's winning in the long run? I'm making money. The honest answer to a problem. Be truthful. Clients want honest, enthusiastic answers to questions. I don't know, but I'll find out. Works better than any line that you may have. I'll be the first to tell you if I don't know something. I'm not ashamed to say it. Guys, horticulture is a whole world. We're not a specialty thing that you focus and do. We're not standing at the factory just doing it one thing over and over and perfecting it. Horticulture is so big that there's not one person that knows the answer to every horticulture, knows the answer to every horticulture question. We're too big of an industry. That's why we rely on the experts. That's why we rely on subcontractors. Be honest with them. Sir, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what insect that is, but I tell you what, I'm going to find out and I'm going to let you know tomorrow. A positive attitude when taking care of a mistake. No problem. It was our fault and we'll take care of it. Bad attitudes lead to more bad attitudes. Admit it. Hey, guys, sir, sorry, my guys. They trimmed that shrub. You said not to do it. What can I do to make this correct? Would you like a gift certificate to your favorite restaurant? Let me take care of this situation. I don't want to lose you as a client. Let me know what I can do. Spontaneous and flexibility. Key employees and management must be flexible to handle minor problems and adjustments on the spot. They shouldn't have to call you for every little thing. If you have a crew leader that's over 2 or 3 irrigation clients, and one of the heads is off and throwing water onto the driveway, the supervisor should be able to have the tools necessary in his vehicle to go and fix things like that versus the installation crew. Take care of it quick, make the customer happy, and they're going to refer you. And with that being said, we have completed the lecture on marketing irrigation services. I love marketing. I love marketing myself. Hopefully I've got you energetic and enthusiastic about